and welcome to News Watch on Hope TV. Thank you for joining us this 12th of June 2020. We're coming to you live from Nairobi City with the latest updates in the country. I'm Tonny Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Now, the Ministry of Interior, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, has appointed an interfaith council that will strategize and develop protocols that will guide resumption of on-site worship in strict adherence to the measures put in place to contain the spread of coronavirus. This comes as the government plans to reopen the economy to cushion the country from total collapse. The council that will oversee the reopening of churches and other places of worship will be chaired by Archbishop Tonny of Nyeri Catholic Archdiocese. Other council members include Bishop Dr. David Oginde of Christ is the Answer Ministries, former NCCK Chair Reverend Canon Rosemary Mbogo, Pastor Dr. Samuel Makori, EAK General Secretary Reverend Koni Kivuti, Al-Haj Hassan Olenado, Sheikh Sukian Hassan Omar, Sheikh Abdulatif Abdul Karim, Reverend Father Joseph Mutie, Sujata Kota Mraju, retired Reverend Samuel Thiongo, Mwangi and Sheikh Ali Saidi Samoja. And now Dr. Kefa Ombacho, Dr. Francis Kuria and Dr. Paul Famba will be the council secretaries. The council will serve for the next 6 months and its term will expire on 31st December 2020, but may be extended at the discretion of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Moving on, 72 coronavirus patients have been discharged from various hospitals across the country in the last 24 hours after they fully recovered from the disease. The total number of recoveries has now risen to 1,164 as 90 new cases were reported today. Meanwhile, the government has launched a blood donation campaign as the country prepares for the World Blood Donor Day to be commemorated on Sunday, June 14th. LCS Dr. Rashid Aman said the country's blood bank is deteriorating following coronavirus pandemic. Our reporter Alice Dan has the story.
The country on Friday recorded 90 new positive cases of COVID-19 from a total of 2,419 samples tested in the last 24 hours. This brings Kenya's total from the novel coronavirus disease to 3,305. The samples tested so far are 108,666. Making the announcement, Health Ministry Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Rashid Aman said out of the new cases, 62 are male while 28 are female. The youngest in the group is 14 years, while the oldest is 80 years.
We have also lost 4 people from the disease, which now brings the total number of people who have succumbed to this disease to date to 96. We send our heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of the departed.
The 90 cases are distributed in 9 counties, with Nairobi having the highest cases, followed by Mombasa.
Nairobi recorded 36, Mombasa 34, Busia 12, Uasin Gishu 3, Kilifi, Garissa, Kisumu, Meru and Turkana 1 each.
Kibra area in Nairobi County remains a hotspot with 12 persons testing positive, while Makadara and Mathare in Nairobi accounted for 5 persons each. Kamukunji accounted for 4, Langata 3, Westlands and Embakasi Central 2 each, while Dagoretti North, Embakasi West and Embakasi South recorded 1 case each. In Mombasa, the 34 cases are from Vita, which has 14, Kisauni 8, while Likoni, Njomvu and Changamwe have 4 cases each.
In Busia, all the 12 cases are of truck drivers at the Malaba border point. Garissa's 1 case is from Garissa Township. Kilifi's 1 case is from Kilifi North. And Kisumu's 1 case is from Kisumu Central. Meru had 1 case from Imenti Central. And Turkana, 1 case from Turkana West.
The Health Ministry also noted that 288 out of 299 COVID-19 patients who were on a pilot home-based care program have recovered. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has rolled out blood donation campaign through its social media platform Facebook to ensure the country's blood demand is still met during the COVID-19 pandemic. The donation exercise will be carried out in all the 33 blood centers countrywide.
Campaign is extremely important because we need to increase the number of pints that we collect in a day. And you will all are very well aware that we have faced challenges as far as our national blood transfusion services is concerned. Challenges that as a ministry we are diligently addressing in order to improve service delivery in this sector. Recognizing the need for additional investments in this sector, the government has initiated a number of programs to be able to build up the capacity of the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services. We have increased the number of human resources within this facility by posting an additional 22 members of staff to the Kenya National Blood.
Prior to the COVID-19 situation, the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Service used to collect about 500 pins of blood every day. With the onset of COVID-19 in the country, the figures have dropped to 250 pins of blood, which has caused a major strain on the country's blood bank. For Hope TV Newswatch in Nairobi, I'm Alice Diana.
And truck drivers in Mombasa have decried lack of coronavirus testing centers in the county at a time the government has insisted that they must have COVID-19 free certificates to access the Mombasa port. Through the Kenya Transporters Association Limited, truckers have now called for a nationwide strike following revelations that no testing has been happening at the Miritini Hospital COVID-19 testing center. Dickens Luvanda has this story.
Despite assurance by the national government through the Ministry of Health that it has availed COVID-19 testing kits to test truck drivers, it has now been revealed that there is no functional testing center for truckers in Mombasa County. A spot check at what was to be the biggest testing center for the long-distance essential service providers, the Miritini Hospital COVID-19 testing center, has revealed that the center is closed and there is nothing going on. Drivers were as well advised to avail themselves of the county health headquarters grounds for testing on Thursday, but upon arrival, there was nobody to attend to them.
Nimefika mahali hapa ili kuja kupimwa pamoja na madereva mnaoona hapa. Lakini ajabu ni kwamba hakuna upimaji wowote ambao unaendelea mahali hapa, lakini kuna fununu ama kuna ukweli kwamba kuna baadhi ya kampuni ambazo zinapima watu ndani ya makampuni yao. Na sisi tunashangaa ikiwa Miritini ndio designated place, mahali pa kupima madereva wa masafa marefu, imehama vipi kutoka Miritini mpaka ikaenda ndani ya makampuni? Hii kutoka designated place kwenda ndani ya makampuni, kuna mambo mengi sana ambao tunaona ndani, maana tunaona ufisadi.
There are now claims that some of the long distance transport companies are conducting the tests within their yards, leaving out the majority of drivers, with each trucker being required to present valid COVID-19 free certificates at the Mombasa port before they are allowed to load cargo onto their trucks.
Na kusema ukweli, zile maseu tumepitia raundini nyingi sana kwa sababu hii ugonjwa la corona. Kusema ukweli, wiki nzima, karibu wiki nzima, na hapa Miritini ndipo watu walikuwa napimiwa corona, lakini sasa hakuna vifaa. Ukienda pale ni mahema tu na hizo vitu zao waliacha hapo, lakini hakuna kupima corona, hakuna vifaa wanasema. Juzi ndio Mombasa kwa njoo pale, tulienda pale tukaambia kuna vifaa lilete. Juzi wakapima wafanyakazi staff wao peke yao. Na kutoka hapo jana hakuna kitu imeendelea. Mpaka sasa hivi tunavyoongea hivi hakuna kitu imeendelea. Wanasema vifaa bado. Sasa tunashindwa, kuna fununu kuna vifaa viko mtaani lakini hatuelewi ni vipi tunabebo. Kuna shida nyingi kwa sababu hauwezi kwenda kupakia poti mpaka ukienda poti unitie hiyo certificate ya kuingia.
Kenya Transporters Association Limited, the umbrella body of truck drivers, has continuously lamented that Mombasa truckers are missing COVID-19 tests and are being stigmatized even by their government to the extent of failing to provide testing kits and reagents.
Kipimo ni bure na vifaa vimekuja. Kwa nini madereva hawawezi wakapimwa na wapate hizo cheti na waweze wakaendelea na safari yao? Madereva tunatezeka kwa sababu sasa wako nyumbani. Kwa data yetu tuko na madereva kama 15,000 madereva. lakini sasa wale walioweza kupimwa hapo mbeleni hawafiki hata 1500. Kwa hivyo bado tumebaki na idadi kubwa ya madereva ambao hawajapimwa bado.
According to the association, the government is using COVID-19 pandemic to justify forced railing of cargo to the recently established 6.9 billion shillings Naivasha Inland Container Depot ICD dry port through the Standard Gauge Railway, with the association now calling for a nationwide truck driver strike.
Kuna mgomo wa kitaifa kutokana na unyanyapaa ambao serikali inatuletea siku baada ya siku.
Manake sasa kama unaongea na serikali na usikizwi, njia ni kugoma tu. Hiyo ndio njia serikali ya Kenya wanasikia. Tutaweka malori kando na tuone kama hizo mashaina hizo makontena zitapakuliwa na nani.
There have been complaints of long queues by long-distance trucks stretching to over 60 kilometers from Malaba border and even Busia border, as drivers await COVID-19 test results at border crossings, with those ferrying perishable goods incurring huge losses. Truckers are as well decrying discrimination, as they are now seen as the weak link in the fight against the pandemic due to the nature of their work.
Waziri amekuwa akitangaza majibu kila siku kwamba madereva wako na corona. Hata ndio anataja, kila anaweza taja wale watu wengine, akifika kwa dereva anasema na madereva wako na corona, madereva kadhaa wako na corona. Sisi tunataka kujua haya majibu yake yeye anayatoa wapi, ikiwa hakuna upimaji wowote ambao unaendelea, na leo ni siku ya 15 hakuna upimaji wowote unaendelea. Haya majibu anayotangaza kila siku yeye anayatoa wapi? Isitoshe, si hapa peke yake, hata Busia kuna watu ambao wamekaa zaidi ya siku 10 wakingojea majibu yao katika ule mpaka. Kuna watu ambao wamekaa zaidi ya siku 10 pia katika mpaka wa Malaba. Haya majibu huyu minister anayatoa wapi? Sasa imekuwa dereva si mtu. Watu watatu wamekuwa na corona sijui Nyeri, alafu madereva 18. Sasa wale ndio watu, hao wengine si watu. So tunamwambia Mutaikagwe pia na yeye arekebishe huo mdomo wake.
Deacon Sylvander, Hope TV News Watch.
And to some politics now, Mani National Congress NC party nominated Member of Parliament Godfrey Osotsi now claims his life is in danger. Osotsi early this week claimed that the 5-year term of all national leaders of the ANC party, including party leader Musalia Mudavadi, is expiring on Monday, June 15th, and hence fresh elections should be conducted. The lawmaker now claims he has received members of the ANC party over the statement he made. Belis Odwor with the story.
But my challenge is that from Monday, all the officials of the party, their term will have expired, including Mudavadi's term.
He made this statement on Tuesday, June 9th, and 3 days later, nominated Member of Parliament Godfrey Osotsi has reported to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, alleging attempts on his life.
As a result of that announcement, there has been a lot of panic, a lot of tension, a lot of desperation from a political class within the ANC party who are very uncomfortable with that announcement. There has been a lot of innuendos, defamation, and all manner of intimidation.
Osotsi, who has been having loyalty issues with the Musalia Mudavadi-led party, says he has been receiving the death threats through phone calls and text messages from more than 3 people ever since he made the statement.
One of them is an MCA in Vihiga County, and 2 are individuals who are persons of close proximity to him.
Majority of ANC MPs earlier this week dismissed Osotsi, who claims he is still the party's Secretary General, even after the appointment of Barack Muluka in the same position, saying the MP was deregistered from the ANC party membership over party loyalty issues, claims Osotsi dismisses. He maintained that Mudavadi's ANC party must hold elections before Monday, June the 15th, as per the party constitution, failure to which an unknown action will be taken.
And the best they can do is probably to start organizing this election this weekend. And there must be credible election, starting with the grassroots election, then culminating into the national election. I do not know how they will manage that, but that is the law. After Monday, after consulting other like-minded members of the party, I'm going to make further announcement on the next steps.
For Hope TV News Watch, I'm Melissa Oduor.
And Kirinyaga woman Representative Purity Ngirishi has dismissed the formation of a Senate Select Committee to determine the case against Governor Anne Waiguru, saying it's a plot to thwart her impeachment. Ngirishi said the case should be tabled before the entire Senate for determination to avoid a case where a few individuals can be manipulated to quash the impeachment. Joseph Maingi tells us more.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Tonny Munene.
Just a day after 4 legislatures from Kirinyaga County, led by the area Senator Robinson Kibiro, okayed the impeachment of Governor Anne Waiguru, the county women representative now has voiced her sentiment on the same. Purity Ngirishi now wants senators to vote on whether to uphold Governor Anne Waiguru's impeachment rather than a select committee. Ngirishi, who is also a close ally of Deputy President William Ruto, has said that the voices of Kirinyaga voters has to be upheld and shall not be determined by only 11 members of a committee.
Hiyo kesi ya governor wa Kirinyaga about misappropriation of funds of Kirinyaga County isifanywe na watu ambao ni watu 11 select committee ambao watapewa milioni 1 ama 2, alafu kutoka hapo pesa ya Kirinyaga ipotee na ukweli na haki ya Kirinyaga ipotee. Tunataka ifanywe na 67 senators in the Senate.
The Senate is set to start the process of impeaching Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru or save her from the chop next week. The members of County Assembly led by Majority Leader James Murago submitted to the Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka a notification of the county's assembly resolution, charges, evidence, and a signed list of all the 23 lawmakers who voted in the favor of the motion to impeach Waiguru. The ouster motion will be filed on the floor of the House on Tuesday when the Senate resumes its weekly sittings. The Impeachment Act stipulates that only that the House can form an 11-member committee which shall investigate the charges and table a report with recommendations within 10 days. Ngirishi has further urged the Senate to act independently and ignore pressure from external forces seeking to influence the outcome of their decision. The Kirinyaga women rep has also urged Waiguru to shun night meetings at Capitol Hill and visits and instead to table evidence in her defense at the Senate, calling on opposition leader Raila Odinga to stop entertaining corrupt leaders who run to him for protection.
Capitol Hill will not be the capital corruption of this country. That everybody who steals, kila mtu ambaye anaenda kuiba mali ya raia, misappropriation of public funds, wanaenda kusafishwa Capitol Hill. Hiyo capital corruption itakuja siku moja tutaifunga.
The Senate Speaker shall, within the 7 days of the recipient of the notification, convene a meeting of the Senate to hear the charges against the governor.
Tunataka Senate mzima isimame na wasimame na haki zao na wasikuwe intimidated na wasiambiwe kitu ati kutoka kwa executive. I am saying I know the legislature is an independent arm of the government and they must behave as such.
Both majority and minority parties can form an 11 committee to hear the allegations and file a report to the House within 10 days. Should the plenary reject the composition of the committee, the governor shall appear before the senators with the speaker as a judge and argue her case out before a vote is taken. Waiguru suffered yet another setback yesterday after the High Court dismissed her application that sought to nullify the impeachment. The Kirinyaga County boss had moved to the court after her impeachment on Tuesday, seeking to have the decision by the members of County Assembly nullified, arguing that they had disobeyed a court order. Should a majority of the committee member reject the ouster, the motion shall stand defeated and the governor shall continue serving. Earlier, Senate Majority Whip Irongo Kangata and the House Business Committee met this afternoon and made a recommendation in regard to the process to be used in the matter of impeaching Waiguru. The recommendations will be made public on Monday, with the House set to take it to the floor for business on Tuesday. For Hope TV News Watch, I'm Joseph Maingi.
That report takes us to a short commercial break on News Watch. We still have more in our second segment of this bulletin. Stay with us. We'll be back.
When we say that at Optiven we care for you, we mean exactly that, because we are with you every step of the way, and we remain committed to supporting you even through this COVID-19 pandemic. To all our customers who are paying installments for their properties, we are giving you an interest-free period of 6 months with effect from 1st May 2020. This is the time to realize your dream of property ownership. Rest assured of our commitment to support you in this journey. We are putting you first because we care. For more information, call us on 0702 83 10 83 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the End Time Sermon series continues, and this Sunday, the 14th of June 2020, our presiding Bishop Dr. David Oginde speaks on the topic, The Mark of the Beast. This will be happening during the family service at 10 a.m. East African Standard Time. You cannot afford to miss this captivating and life-changing Bible teaching that will be broadcast live on Hope TV, Hope FM, and on all Satan Church online social media platforms.
Treetop is back, now tastier than ever. Available in orange, tropical, apple, mango, and strawberry banana flavors. Stay safe and enjoy great taste with your family. Treetop, you can't beat this taste.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV News Watch. A section of leaders from Western Kenya, led by Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, have accused the national government of marginalizing the region. The leaders say several sectors of the economy in the Western Kenya region, especially the sugar industry, cotton and pyrethrum, the fishing sector and manufacturing, have been left out in the budget read by Treasury Cabinet Secretary Tonny, with the leaders challenging the government to act quickly and salvage the region's economy. Grace Ongui reports.
A huge percentage of Kenya's population who await the reading of each year's budget are not conversant with what the figures and allocations mean. For most, they await the interpretation of the budget reading by the media, and often political leaders who usually soon after the reading will come out to explain to their followers what the budget means to them, as well as give a critique on National Treasury on the work they have done. In light of this, the political leaders from Western Kenya, led by ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, came out to condemn the marginalization that has been felt by the Western counties in terms of budgetary allocation. Musalia says that the sugar sector has been aggrieved despite a task force report recommending the revival of the sugar sector. Own up to the fact that
disease is caused by two viruses, the sugarcane mosaic virus and the maize chlorotic mottle virus. The sugarcane mosaic virus
All right, we do apologize for that hitch there. We will rectify that story for you. Now, moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged African countries to tap into the innovative abilities of the continent's youth as they roll out COVID-19 mitigation and recovery strategies. The president, who spoke at State House last evening during the 5th virtual meeting of the Bureau of the Assembly of the African Union, said the youth are Africa's biggest resource and their immense energy can be utilized to boost coronavirus response measures. The meeting, convened by South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the current chairperson of the African Union, was also attended by chairpersons of the African Union regional economic communities.
I further urge us to remain focused and stay the course by prioritizing preventative and mitigation measures targeting the most vulnerable segments of all our populations. Your Excellencies, I take note that this meeting was intended, among other things, as our chairman has so briefed us, to receive feedback from the AU COVID-19 special envoys on the progress that they have made in mobilizing resources to assist Africa respond to the impact of COVID-19. And I join colleagues also in commending our distinguished special envoys for the work that they have done so far, and indeed look forward to hearing what they have to say on their ongoing engagements with international partners to support Africa's case in combating this pandemic. The solidarity demonstrated by our international partners provides an opportunity for African countries to channel additional national resources to expand our social safety net programs to mitigate the impacts of the pandemic and to safeguard our continent's social economic gains from reversal. While appreciating the magnitude of the crisis at hand and the need for resources to avert the looming catastrophe, I also wish to reiterate that our biggest resource at our disposal is our own people, especially our youth. We therefore need to pay special attention to education and training programs, and indeed we need to harness the digital revolution and innovation witnessed during this pandemic as a catalyst for post-COVID-19 economic revival, and which is a key creation of jobs for our youth.
Coast-based civil society group Mombasa Governance Network has questioned the viability of some projects and allocations in the Mombasa County Government's 14.6 billion shilling budget led by Lucas Fondo. The organization says the priorities section of the budget lacks reliable and accurate information and that there are no specific interventions and allocations, creating a loophole for corruption. Mohamed Yatimi, the Mombasa County Assembly Finance Committee chairperson, while responding to the concern, said the committee will investigate the issues.
Ukiangalia bajeti zilizopita na bajeti hii ya mwaka huu utapata kwamba miradi ile ile iliyokuwa itengenezwa mwaka uliopita bado ipo tena katika bajeti hii. So sisi tunasema kwamba hilo si jambo jema kwa sababu tayari miradi imejengwa mwaka uliopita na mwaka huu tena unapangia kujenga miradi ile ile. So tunasema hicho ni chanzo cha ufisadi.
We also want to emphasize issues of budget credibility, transparency and accountability so that the budget is implemented as it was planned.
Tuambia ama kutoa makosa kadha wa kadha ili tuweze kurekebisha kusudi ile budget iwe itakuwa ni budget ambayo itamfaidisha mwananchi.
And as street families continue to face a hard time during COVID-19 season, the Love of Christ Foundation, together with the Bible Society of Kenya, have resorted to mentor and spiritually nourish street families in a move to rehabilitate them. Our reporter Mark Kimondo tells us today, the measures put in place by the government, including the nationwide curfew, has affected the struggling families who desperately need assistance. Here's the story of these street families.
The government has put in place measures and interventions to address the plight of the street families. Key initiative being the establishment of Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund to address the concerns of all homeless, destitute, and vulnerable persons in urban areas.
In the past decade, the number of street children has increased in many African countries due to deepening poverty. The situation is not uncommon in big cities like Nairobi.
As half of the total population in Kenya is under 18, the living condition of street children remains to be one of the greatest challenges facing the government of Kenya.
Grogon, in Kenya's capital, is the home to many street children who live as a family. They are trademark sacks that sling over their backs and the small plastic containers filled with gum on their hands makes it easy for one to recognize them. Living in the streets is not something that one might possibly desire. meet the 21-year-old Sitram Babu, a name he says he was given by his late father some years back.
Wakati babangu alikufanga, mimi na ndugu yangu tulichukuliwa tukapelekwa rescue center Thika. Tukakaa huko kuanzia 2009. Nikakaa huko hivyo nikapelekwa shule. Nilikuwa study 6 nikatoka huko hivi. Nikakuja kwa street. Kuja kwa street siko najua nyumbani wakati. Nikakaa kwa street, nikajiona na watu wa street, wakati niko off siko najua kwetu. Nikaacha ndugu yangu kwa center, no.
Her mother was married to another man whom Sitram found difficult to relate with.
Yaani tu Mungu akanibariki, nikaenda kuulizia nikapata nyumbani, nikapata mamangu ndiye ameolewa pia na baba mwingine. Nikajaribu kukaa nyumbani lakini nishazoeana mambo ya street. Nikarudi huko kwa street, unaona. Kurudi huko pia saa nyingine unapata babangu amekasirika, huyo mwenyezi babangu mzazi, unaona. Nikakaa nyumbani, natoka hivi. Majangu hadi kukangu na shoshangu akaniambia nyewe ili nisifanye mamangu nimharibie, kwa sababu pia babangu si babangu mzazi, anaweza kasirika. Kasema ni sawa, acha nirudi kwa street.
Despite all this, Sitram still believes that there is still some light at the end of the tunnel.
Hata mimi naona hapa ndio tuko vizuri, lakini tungetaka pia sisi tuweze kutafutiwa kazi kidogo hivi utapata.
Study has shown that homelessness can be brought by many other factors and situations, including peer pressure and violence at home. For 14-year-old Peter Muigai, he found his way into the streets due to hunger.
Nini nilituma kuja kwa street?
Mimi nilikuja huku street sababu ya chakula, mashida hizo.
For street families, this environment is not usually safe, as many face harassment from ordinary citizens, while others suffer in the hands of security personnel, including police officers.
Hatuwezi kupata ule tunaweza saidika, hata kujitolea. Ukienda kwa chifu unakuta unaumia, hakuna kupata hiyo ID, hatuna maguo, hakuna mahali ya kulala na nini, hata ikuwa paka ni kungojeka. Tukienda mahali kama Kenyatta tunalipia na social worker, unakuta tunaumia mpaka wenzetu wanarudi bila, bado watatengenezwa, wanakuja wanakufa. Serikali ndio hiyo, serikali nayo inatuumiza sana.
The way of bathing is also peculiar. Some have even died here.
Ni wengi washai kufia kwa hii mto. Kwanza pale hivi kuna shimo.
Ben Ngige from Love of Christ Foundation feeds at least 60 street children in Grogon a day, a task he began some months ago.
Yes, most of the people here are young, between the age of say 10 to around 21, holds that I think 80%, but there are also women and men. So at the moment we are just feeding the young ones because we tell them that those who have strength, they can be able to work. But going to the future, we need assistance for all of them, so that because the main objective is to get them out of the streets, and those who can go home, and we can make this Nairobi and the city and the Kenya in general a better place for the street children. Mungu ametubariki pia na kutumia watu wake, tunapata chakula kila siku hapa hivi lunch. Sasa hata kama mtu anajitegemea, lakini sasa tunasema tu hata hivyo Mungu abariki hii program iendelee vizuri. Pia sisi tupate kazi kama yenye imeendelea, imeanza saa hizi.
The dusk to dawn curfew has also affected their way of life. In conjunction with BSK, Love of Christ Foundation has been conducting counseling to these street children, something that has seen a number of them reform and unite with their families.
For now, we are just giving them food daily, but going into the future, we foresee that the soap venture that you have already started will be able to assist them, get some income, get some revenue to pay for their rent, some of them at least to get somewhere to sleep, to get a going venture. And probably that can go into a manufacturing industry, yeah, so that we can employ some of them, or those who are not employable can go back to school, and we see a big venture coming up. With the help of the public, if those who are watching can buy the soap, yeah, that can be very good, so that this venture can go ahead. If somebody else has an idea of how we can grow the business, if they have an industry, we can work together. Those who have supermarkets, they can accommodate our products so that we can move on with the rest of the street families.
So as we have been feeding them, we have gotten to know many challenges that face them while they're out here in the streets. And this has really been like an eye-opener to us, because it has helped us to know how we are going to help these children, what we need to do, and how we need to approach them now. And also how to interact with them, how to relate with them.
Ben has a lot in mind for this vulnerable group, but shortage of funds inconveniences his logistics. One Mary Wamboi has been living in the streets for 21 years. She narrates how life has been.
Sisi watu weshi tu love, juu kila mtu yani ametoka sehemu mbalimbali na mateso yake. Tumepatana hapa. Huwa tunapendana. Kuna mwingine unaweza ona amepata hata maziwa 2 anapatia moja, mwingine anasaidia mwingine. Huwa tunapendana tu. Juu mimi yenyewe siwezi kula na nijiforce ama nibebe ama niweke kwa bagi nifanye na chakula nitapatia mwenye karibu.
Supported by Love of Christ and Bible Society of Kenya, Mary is able to make soap detergents that helps her gain a coin.
Tulikawia sana bila kupata chakula, kwa mavazi hatuko tunapata, na saa zingine hata tulikuwa tunalala njaa. Kwa Love of Foundation ikatusaidia kwa chakula kwa kila wiki, wametusaidia kwa chakula, na hata wakakuwa na mafikirio mazuri, wanataka kutupa usaidizi wa kuuza sabuni. Tungependa mtu akona uwezo anaweza tuongezea sabuni, na pia yeye tukue tunamuuzia.
One of these bottles costs 30 shillings. Sniffing glue is treated as an escape from poverty and endless cruelty they encounter in their unique life. Few sniffs of glue can last for several hours in the brain, but they are not aware of the dangers of the stimulant. Susan from the Bible Society of Kenya has been trying to nourish them spiritually. But mobilizing them is the greatest task, as their concentration span is low due to substance abuse. But how has the experience been?
We came together with the Love of Christ on 5th May 2020 to see how we can partner and reach out to the street kids and give them hope. So we have been doing various things in order to help them. One of them includes feeding them. So we've been feeding them daily, 6 days a week. Every child needs 50 bob per day. And then we are also involving them in listening to the Word of God through these gadgets. We call them proclaimers. They are audio scriptures that have the Word of God recorded from Matthew to Revelation. So the kids have been listening to the Word of God every Thursday before they take a meal, such that they can have discussion on what the Word of God says, and it can give them hope to move on with life.
They don't have a specific structure they call home, a situation that has left them at risk of contracting diseases, especially during this COVID-19 season. There are still many aspects that need to be improved by the Kenyan government to reduce the number of street children that is growing at a high rate, more so in the streets of Nairobi, with also crime rates escalating, especially in downtown.
This information, data that we are working with now, will inform budgeting and decision making. As CAS has stated, our wonder before was who are they, where are they, how many are they, and how are they distributed nationally. Today, we have the numbers.
Well, experts estimate that there are between 200,000 to 300,000 street children in Kenya, with 60,000 of them living in the streets of Nairobi. Now, Grogan is a home to over 500 street children who live here, believing that one day they will be reunited with their families. Mark Kimondo for Hope TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mark Kimondo, for that story there. Let's now take another short break on News Watch. We'll be back with business news.
Stand up. Are you the real deal? Join us this coming Saturday, the 30th of May 2020 at the Sit and Whitey Nation Service live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube from 2
Hard work pays off in the future, but laziness pays off now. Okay.
If you want to be a wise person, then it's wise just to sort of stay away from that, which can cause a mockery to take place.
An idol is really what is your de facto God, or in fact God. What? The thing that you turn to when you're depressed, discouraged, defeated, stressed out, full of anxiety. Where do you go? What do you turn to first?
Join John Cousin every weekday as he takes us on a journey through the Bible. Enjoy interesting, knowledge-packed, yet simple teachings through his humor and in-depth understanding of God's Word. Tune in to Hope TV for John Cousin every 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. weekdays on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Centum Investment Company PLC shareholders are set to receive a dividend payout of 978 million shillings for the period ended March 31st, 2020, marking the end of the financial year that saw the group after tax profit increase 79% to 7.4 billion shillings. Total incomes increased 33.74% to 15.86 billion shillings in the year ended March 31st. Centum Group CEO Dr. James Moria says the performance sets a strong foundation for the remaining 4-year strategy period, especially after the company announced repayment of all its medium and long-term debt within 14 months of commencement of the new strategy. Centum's 4 main business units, private equity, real estate, marketable securities, and development, all recorded a strong performance in the year.
So all in, we had access to liquidity of about 11.9 billion shillings at the end of the year. In terms of the portfolio highlights, and my colleagues will speak more about it, on real estate, and indeed this was a theme across our entire business. It was around focusing on the drivers of value. And the drivers of value are largely cash flow focused drivers of value. So from our real estate business, we have 4 development objectives. One is to develop and sell infill developments. These are various housing units on our land holdings. And our strategy is a sales-led strategy. So we develop what we have sold. So you first sell and then develop. And as at the end of March, we had 1,400 units under development, of which 70% had been sold, about roughly 999,000 units. And we had also sold bulk land. So total sales stood at about 10.6 billion, out of which we've collected about 26%, so about 2.7 billion had been collected by March.
And restaurant operators in the country have called on the government to crack down on entertainment spots that fail to adhere to COVID-19 regulations. Restaurants Association of Kenya said it has reached out to the Ministry of Health and pledged to cooperate and have its members self-regulate to implement guidelines. The organization's patron, Patrick Muya, said the extension of the curfew to 9 p.m. should be accompanied by an extension of restaurant opening hours to at least 8 p.m. He said the sector is happy about the recent directives by the president to reopen the economy while ensuring issued guidelines are duly followed, but was concerned about establishments that allow their patrons to flout the guidelines. Okay, seem to be having a challenge with that bite there. And with that story, we have come to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for staying with Hope TV News Watch. We'll meet again next time. I'm Tonny Omondi, and our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Have a blessed weekend.